Thank you both for joining us today. It's quite an opportunity.
I have to do my job here.
You know what?
Hello, everyone. So amazing to be here among all of you. Thank you.
Okay, so now that she's done that, I have to confess what she was doing about 2 minutes ago in the green room or the speaker's room. This is the second time that I've gotten the privilege to interview Anastasia, and I am not very good at makeup. So she was doing my eyebrows. So if anybody knows how Anastasia has made her success, it started off with better eyebrows.
Yes, thank you.
So we have here today two of the country's most successful female entrepreneurs. That in and of itself is worth celebration because unfortunately, there are just not as many stories of successful entrepreneurs as there should be, and we see that improving and succeeding, and I'm really excited to have both of them here today. The reason that these two have been so successful is that within Anastasia first started her business in 2000 when she started selling eyebrow products. That's how you began, correct?
That's true.
But it really took off in 2013 when she brought the brand to Instagram. Today, she has over 19 million followers. The brand has sold roughly 400 million worth of products. And she sold a minority investment in her company last year that valued the business at $3 billion. Shan also got her big start in 2013, coincidentally. That's when she and her co-founder started Zola, which is the fastest growing wedding business in the nation. It's one of the top 3 for wedding registries and for wedding products in the entire country. And it's already valued, only 6 years since they started, at roughly $600 million. So let's just get started. What do you think that the traits are that each of you had that has led you to such fast growth and to becoming two of the most successful entrepreneurs?
I will let you talk.
Oh, okay. Well, I think if you ask anyone who knows me, they would describe me as someone who never gives up. You know, so growing up in Australia, my parents, when I was young, we had a backyard that was made mostly out of clay and soft concrete. And one summer I thought, I will create a vegetable garden. I will dig up all the dirt and create a beautiful garden. Everyone said it could not be done. Everyone told me to stop every day. And at the end of the summer, I just kept going and going until we had this garden. And I think a lot about that. Really, at every piece of the startup journey, people will say, it can't be done. You should probably not work on this. And every day, I think, if I could have dug up clay and concrete, I can most certainly create a great company.
That's such a great story, and it's also very similar to Anastasia's experience in some ways too, which I think is just really interesting.
My experience?
In terms of never giving up, not dirt in Australia.
Well, I grew up in Romania, and I emigrated exactly 30 years ago to the United States. And I left my family, I left my life there, and I came to find that dream. And believe it or not, I started working in a salon, and after a year and a half, I thought, nobody pays attention to eyebrows, and I was working with amazing celebrities that the face of the magazines, usually they were all the supermodels, and nobody paid attention to eyebrows. And I remember my art teacher talking when we draw portrait. Always he said, if you want to draw a portrait and you want to change an emotion, you just change eyebrows. And of course, we studied the Leonardo da Vinci theory applied in all his art of the golden ratio, that the human eye is encoded to recognize that balance and proportion. And eyebrow is the best feature on our face that creates that balance and proportion. And I looked on my picture when I was in high school, and I had pencil-thin eyebrows because my esthetician obviously didn't know how to shape correctly my eyebrows. And I was so enticed by that, and I wanted to find out how I need to shape my eyebrow according to my bone structure and natural eyebrow shape. And I started going to the library, and with all the knowledge that I had in school, and I studied 5 years of technical design, I started developing this technique on how to shape eyebrows. I never thought that this is going to be applied, and 30 years later, it's going to be Anastasia Beverly Hills, but I was curious on how that eyebrow should be shaped. Obviously, I started doing eyebrow, and nobody believed that I should pay attention to eyebrows. And a year and a half after arriving in the United States, where, trust me, I didn't speak the language, I didn't know how to write a check. I started going deep and try to learn everything. I decided to open my own business. I rented a room in Beverly Hills, and I started practicing on this theory and I started developing this technique on shaping eyebrows. And every single person thought I am crazy, nobody is going to pay attention, I will not be able to pay my rent. But I really believed in it, and I thought that women should believe too, because I will convince them that this is important. And this is how it all started. And in '97, I opened a salon in Beverly Hills, and I went to the landlord that his office was exactly across the street. And when I told him that I do eyebrows, he thought, like, get out of here. You know, he had an amazing accent, New York accent. I was like, get out of here. This is Beverly Hills. You can pay rent doing eyebrows. And I had to try to convince him for 2 hours that he needs to give me a chance. I'm sure you are an immigrant, please, I'm an immigrant. So I refused to leave his room. And he gave me the chance, and 2 weeks later was a line outside the office and the salon, and he called me, he said, are you sure you do eyebrows? Because I don't know what you Romanians you do there, but I'm like, why it's a line outside the store? And I started working on a product line because there were no products for eyebrows. And this is how I launched in 2000 the Anastasia Beverly Hills.
So obviously you were incredibly, incredibly passionate about eyebrows and very focused.
Yes,
Shan,
for sure.
How did you get to weddings? Like, did you have a similar experience, or were you much more methodical about choosing what business you were going to be going into?
Well, I was not always obsessed with weddings, but it happened that in 2013 that I became more interested because all my friends got married at exactly the same time that year, and I was going to a wedding every weekend. I was buying a lot of wedding presents for my friends and buying from their wedding registries, which was at that time dominated by the big traditional department store players. I found it to be one of the worst e-commerce shopping experiences I had ever seen. And my background and my passion is in creating beautiful, easy e-commerce experiences. And I was complaining to my co-founder, Nobu, about how bad it was to buy from my closest friends things that I really wanted to give them. And he's married, and he started to complain about how painful it was from the couple's perspective. He talked about how he nearly broke up with his wife over their wedding registry. Wow. And we just looked at each other, and that was the aha moment. And we knew that there had to be a better way. We knew that we were the right people to solve this problem. And the more we talked to users, the more we found our passion for this, because we found people who really cared deeply about their wedding. We're investing a great deal in making it beautiful. We're very busy, and yet we're completely underserved. And they were primarily women, and I feel and still feel that women deserve a lot better than what they were seeing in the wedding industry.
Great. So you both actually picked industries that are pretty well established. I mean, both had big existing players, and you found a way to kind of drive right in. How did you do it? What did you do that was so different from?
Well, in my field, the beauty industry was not a product for eyebrows. Nobody was a void in the industry. So basically, I started this category in the beauty industry, which is called eyebrows, which I'm really proud, and I hope in 100 years from now on, people will remember me as the woman that invented eyebrows. But I think being passionate about something, it is crucial if you want to become successful. And I see in the audience here a group of very young women here. They are my inspiration. They are people that I admire so much because they are so young. I follow them on Instagram, and when I do PA in department stores, 13, 14, 15, they will come to me and like, oh my God, I want to be like you. I want to have a makeup line like you, which to me, it's unbelievable that at this young age, you want to be successful. And let me tell you something. We live in the best country on the planet. You have every opportunity that you could have. You just need to grab it. You need to believe in yourself. Be fearless. Women are incredible. Please do not be afraid. I don't care what you want to do. Makeup, wedding planning, whatever, wedding registry. I think you could do wherever you want. Just do your homework and do not be afraid. I think, to me, the biggest problem we have in life is just the fear that you will fail. And I don't think you should have, because we live in the best country and you get the best support. Women support other women, and I promise you, try to be the best. And look,
how much do you think that technology has really driven a lot of this fast growth? I mean, again, 2013, it's coincidental, but it just really seems like.
Yeah, even in the last 5 years since we started Zola, I've experienced and seen a huge shift in people's attitudes towards female-founded companies, as well as companies that serve a female audience. You know, when we started in 2013, so many people said to me, I don't think weddings is that big a business, or I don't think it's possible to create a big business in weddings because there hasn't been one before. And now I think we would all laugh at this because first of all, we all know, I think, how much we have or will spend on a wedding. It is a huge industry. It's $100 billion in the US alone. It's one of the biggest industries you can find. And yet, because there weren't as many female investors that were investing at that point in time, it was underestimated. I think many female-founded, female-serving companies have been underestimated. And the biggest impact on these companies over the last few years has been people, founders like Anastasia, who have shown that it's possible, as well as more female investors into the investment community who are users, who understand the market deeply and are willing to take a bet.
I mean, for me, the social media was crucial. Yeah, I used to go around the country and do events at Nordstrom's just to reach out and to explain women why they need to use powder in their eyebrows. And the moment my daughter introduced me to Instagram, it was the first post. It was incredible. It was a comment that I read, and the woman said, well, I wish I would have this brow wiz, but I cannot buy it here. I said, send me the address. I will ship you one. It's like, well, you can, because I live in a tiny village in Pakistan. And I thought, like, wow, this is absolutely incredible. You reach people that there's no way I will be able to reach. And what we were able to do, our products not only will help you to achieve the look you want, but will teach you how to do it, why you do it. Because to me, from the beginning, was very important to educate women how to use, and men as well. You know, we are very inclusive. How to use the product. And this is how people in a tiny little town in Pakistan, they learn how to do eyebrow. They learn why they needed to use contouring. You know, we are disruptor. We like to create category in the industry, but nobody ever thought to put them together and help women to understand why they need to use that. So I think it was important for our brand to not only come with the products, but teach women and men how to use it. You need to become a makeup artist, and you could start a living by doing and learning how to do makeup. I think it was incredible, and social media was crucial for our business.
I just want to quickly say that I edited our self-made women's list, and about 1/4 of the women are immigrants. And here we have, again,
Yes.
2 immigrants that have had such huge success. How much of a factor is that in kind of pursuing and grabbing the American dream?
So I've actually immigrated twice in my life so far. The first time was to Australia with my family where I grew up. And then the second time immigrated to the US to be a part of the tech revolution that is underway here. And my attitude has always been, because of being an immigrant, you know, I started with nothing, so I have nothing to lose. The only thing I have is dreams and an education, and I think that's what has allowed me and so many other immigrants to follow our dreams, because the worst thing that can happen is that we're left where we started.
Well, I think as an immigrant, when you come in this country, you see the opportunities. There are opportunities everywhere. And I don't think we are afraid to take it, because we have nothing to lose. We don't have anything when we come here, so nothing to lose. I think we have that determination to be significant, to do something with our passion and working hard, and do something that we never in our wildest dream. I never in my wildest dream I thought that I would be here. But pursuing what I love the most, because you need to really love. It is not easy, ladies, okay? Every morning, I can't tell you how many times I went to bed and I thought, I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna give up, and I will wake up the next morning and I will start all over again. So you need a lot of determination, and you need to love what you do. But I think being an immigrant, you have that power that you, like, there's no way I'm going back, okay? Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna do, and I do everything I can to follow that dream that I have. And every day you feel like I could do it even better, and I could do this, and you know what I mean? And it's unbelievable to be able to have the chance, and I'm so thankful. I remember a few years ago, I was at the White House under the seal. I was invited for the Christmas party, and I told my daughter, like, can you take a picture of me? Because this is the most incredible moment that I am under this seal. Mm-hmm.
So can you quickly tell me, obviously you've faced a lot of obstacles. What was one of the biggest roadblocks that you've conquered that you were able to kind of drive right through?
I think the biggest problem to solve in any startup is how do you grow in the right way for the company? How do you figure out when is the right time to expand your product portfolio, and what are the things you should expand your product into? The 3 things we think a lot about is, first, where are our users leading us? What are we hearing from our couples that are telling us the direction we should expand into? The second is, how can we build our competitive moat? So with each thing that we expand into, how does it make a lot of sense, because it's deeply integrated into our existing products? So for example, we started with registry, we then launched a guest list manager, and now it just makes sense. We should help you with your invitations, save the dates, and thank you cards, because if we have your guest list and registry, it's just easier for us and for you for those to all work together. It's crazy that we're the only place you can do that. And then third, I think it's how can you continue to give the team opportunities to innovate on behalf of your customers? And if you can do all of those things, which we try to do every day, I think you've solved the problem of what should the company do to be enduring and sustainable.
So we only have a minute left, so I want both of you to just say either the biggest inspiration for you, or what you're most looking forward to looking ahead.
For myself, it's just to connect with consumer. I work for my consumer. I listen to her. I read her comments. Everything I do for her. It's the connection with the consumer that is the most important thing in my business, and I think in most of businesses. And I'm looking up to scale the business, being a global brand. This was from day one in 2000. I dreamed that every woman from the North Pole to the South Pole, west to east, to have an ability to use my products. That's why from the beginning we were inclusive with colors. And it was very important for me, and I hope I will achieve that dream pretty soon.
And for us as Zola, we are looking forward to building the company that serves couples from that day of engagement through wedding planning and into their first years of newlywed life. It's a life stage that no one serves well right now except for us, and it's wide open. We know that we can build a multi-billion-dollar company here in a way that no one else has before. We want to be the first, and we're going to get there.
Well, thank you both so much. I look forward to watching your businesses continue to grow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.